President Trump, excuse me, President Donald J. Trump is God's anointed.
I have such problem with this, obviously. And I've been a Donald Trump supporter, for 10 years, but I don't, my trust has diminished. Um, I guess it's because, the fruits, I saw the fruits in the first term. This term, I just see a lot of ego and, self-interest, and it just seems the opposite. And that's not me trying to say he's wicked either. And I don't know, because like you listen to this guy, I was one of these guys. I was like him, several years ago. So what's happened? And I sit back and I'm like, God, have I been condemned to hell? Is that what it is? I've been condemned to hell? Because that's what you end up thinking if you're somebody that's truly surrendered to God and you stop trusting the anointed one. That's what happens. You're like, well, then what have you... That's the danger with saying that you're anointed, is because the people, well, I'm sorry, I have little strength. I really do. I'm at the place where it's like, do whatever you want with me, God. I don't care if I'm condemned somehow because I've crossed the over into, oh, I can't say anything against the anointed one. The anointed one doesn't want to listen to the people. Like he'll say he has this mandate, but I mean, I surrender to God. Okay, so and the evidence I can give you is the fact that there's only one God that'll keep you sober. Okay, because I can't do it. So I know it's the biblical God. I just don't know what this road is that God has me on anymore. I don't. Because I was once one of these people where it's like, oh, Donald Trump's anointed. No, at this point, I think that God keeps saving Donald Trump over and over again. And Donald Trump shouldn't even have to be dealing with somebody trying to take his life. But, but the fact is he himself doesn't want to surrender to God. So we're in the fallen world. Like God would like the leaders to stop trying to fix everything and surrender to him. But instead, I sometimes think that the leaders themselves, even though in the Bible, God didn't go to the leaders, remember? That wasn't who Jesus raised up. Jesus raised up the nobodies. He did. I've said it for years, so I don't really understand this. To me, it's like, weren't the American people the anointed? And you could say, well, Donald Trump's, one of the American people. Yeah, but he's in a leadership position. And he doesn't want to surrender. And, of course, none of the leaders want to surrender. They think they can fix it. But none of them have enough strength, enough bravery to truly surrender to God. And some people would say, no, he does surrender to God. No, he does. He surrenders to God, and then he does his own will. I mean, truly surrender. Only God can stop the suffering. But I don't think they have enough faith. I think a lot of these people, maybe they have the best intentions too. So please don't get it like it's evil or good here. Like, it's just a matter that, like I said, the wealthy, they want their kingdom. They have no reason to want God's kingdom. They like their luxuries. They like their Mar-a-Lago. They like everything, and I've wondered, I prayed, I'm like, I don't know who Trump is, okay? At times I've wondered if he's a mirror. I've wondered if he's the mirror that God would be to the world, showing the world what it is. How would you know who God is? You think anybody on this planet would accept the second coming? Everybody just thinks, oh, but we'll know it, the sky's going to break open and all this stuff. Right, but then you'll have a bunch of people that say that's all AI. Jesus could be back now, okay, in some form, and do miracle after miracle. It'd still be the same thing. So I've wondered. I've wondered. I won't say anything, but you get. So then it's like I'm calling God. I'm calling God out, because who knows how will God return? God may return in another, but then that can all be deception. Do you see what I mean? I mean, it's like so. Because Trump's made remarks, okay? He's said, I've done videos about it, where he just said that, after he was shot, or, the attempted assassination, there was an interview, and people didn't pick up on it, but I've done videos. I don't think it's on here, but it's on my YouTube channel. In an interview a year after the Butler assassination attempt, he was being asked about it. And he says something like, we need a savior that saves our country, that saved my life, someone like me. It was something like that, like he was saying he saved his own life. And I'm like, whoa. And then you look at the gold. You think you're going to get anybody to believe that? I don't even know what I believe. I mean, because he's married. He's been married 3 times. I mean, but you don't know. How would God do it? But who would? But put it this way. Put that aside. Even if Jesus came back, you're never going to get people to believe it. Like, even if Revelations play, the sky rolls back, and yeah, okay, people are going to say that it's AI. They would. And you may say, no, God will make sure. Will he? How? How? I'm not saying he can't. It's just there's always been this belief that everybody will know. It says in Revelations that all eyes will see him. It doesn't say everybody will know who he is. So, I mean, I put it this way. I've called him out so many times, I would just be damning myself, probably. So it's a struggle for me. But then it's like, oh, but I'm damning myself if I say that and it's not true. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like a catch-22. Yet I just try every day to do God's will. And so I don't like what I see this term, because it's this me. And, and yet you have this suffering going on. So I have a hard time. So that then tells me, like, okay, well, you're really not about the people. You're about, I've said before, he's about some people, not all the people. I mean, there's a reason he doesn't care. He's fine with suppressing people like me, because he's not interested in doing there's no president that really is about all the people. They say they are, but they're really not. They're not. Come on. They're for a certain group of people, usually the people that give them the most money, okay? And I think that's the same thing today. Otherwise, I mean, again, my biggest problem is that when you suppress me on even your own platform, then I would lack common sense not to stop trusting. That it would be a lack of common sense on my part to say I still trust you. And I've given it a pass over and over again, like, oh, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. But again, I lean on God, and so I don't know. It's God, and I don't believe that God is a God of confusion. I think Trump is very much a bunch of confusion. So I don't know. I'm not telling people to listen to me. I mean, just take this, follow your own discernment or God's discernment and pray about it, It's sort of like either way you go, we're just in this place where I don't feel that this term is really about the people. It's about the people that, have given him money. So I understand I was in the same place this guy was. Trump's the anointed one. And I think that could be true if he wanted to follow God. But I think that what God wanted, and maybe what he's hoping, is that Trump will actually be the first leader that will truly surrender to God. Not just say they surrender to God, but really surrender to God and wait on his direction to lead you. Because only God can stop the suffering of this fallen world.